Hello, hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for November 4th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 309. I am Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI is here to co-host, and we're going to talk about the following 10 articles. And I'm doing something new. I'm actually streaming directly from the studio, ohmTown Studios, and not restreaming through a interstitial or some third party. I'm streaming straight to both. So, and of course that's starting up. Anyway, let's get into it. We're going to talk about Stardew Valley, once a month weight loss drug. Your car looks like Moo Deng. Study the color of the ocean, farm nutrient pollution, AI features in time for the holiday, except for maybe actually answering my questions, a robot arm that cleans up spills, mysterious banging, don't worry, it's just a Boeing, rat-sized spiders, and my first chemical purity tester. All of that and more is over on ohmtown.com. But come here on Twitch, twitch.tv/ohmtown, and over on YouTube, youtube.com/ohmtown. Download it via the podcast. Just do a search for ohmtown and you'll find the network. There's a Discord, Patreon, TikTok. And I might be streaming, I don't know, to other places. We'll see. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com, so see you on the other side of this. Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to go because I'm streaming to 2 different places, and it's one machine, so I don't know what's going to happen. Hello, Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, ohmTown citizens.
So if anybody is in chat on either of the platforms and you're running across some problem, let me know in chat, and I will fix it as fast as humanly possible. If you are interested in today's show notes, you can hit !NSN in the chat, and Omatron will spit out a list in no particular order of all of the articles that we're talking about today. But let's get into it. First article is over on Warcrafter. Stardew Valley has a troublesome new disappearing chickens bug, which Eric Barone is explaining away as declaring that invisible coyotes are stealing them. So there was a big update today. Not an upset, an update to Stardew Valley. The 1.6 update. It says it's finally live on consoles and mobile. It's basically everywhere now. And as if it wasn't enough, creator Eric Barone also surprised the world by rolling out yet another update on top of the update, Stardew Valley 1.6.9, which introduces a fresh array of fixes, tweaks, updates, and new content. And on top of that, some surprise Stardew lore, wild coyotes. So the world keeps on building. It doesn't cost anything more. It's kind of like No Man's Sky, where No Man's Sky is keep getting updates, but nobody's being charged for it. I love this kind of thing. And they're not killing games, so that's always good. But the only reason why I even brought this up was because I thought this was a really great way of dealing with a bug. Disappearing chickens means invisible coyotes hunting them down.
It is one of the most creative explanations I've heard.
And then they can quietly fix it and say, oh, we've gotten rid of the...
We've eradicated the coyotes.
The invisible coyotes. You can now see them. I don't know. Or maybe there are actually roaming coyotes that are around and you just don't see them. Right? I like this. So I don't know if I'm even streaming to the right. It should be going to 1080 over on Twitch. And I should be able to get up to 4K over on the YouTubes, as it were. But I guess I am streaming over there. I'm monitoring that now. Okay, well, anyway. Missing some chickens. It's not a bug. Andy Chalk over at PCGamer.com says it's coyotes, invisible coyotes. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. Wow. Don't start a howl. Oh.
Is that actually from Stardew?
No.
Or just somebody else?
That's just a Getty image picture. Stardew Valley is an isometric kind of pixel game. It's kind of, well, it's a casual game, although I guess it has a timeline of some sort. I've never completed it. I've never completed it. I always get sidetracked, wander off. I keep saying that I have undiagnosed ADD, but maybe I'll go get diagnosed just so I can, I don't know, like put a I voted sticker on me, but it says I've got ADD.
Yeah, I don't know what that'll solve.
Remind me I'm in a conversation sticker. That way I don't just kind of...
Mayor Watt, Mayor Watt.
Huh? What? Oh, I'm streaming. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. So, yeah, after months of waiting, Stardew Valley's big 1.6 hit. It's on all of the platforms, PC and gaming and all that, console and whatever else. And then they updated with 1.6.9. It says, PSA, there's currently an issue if you start a new farm on the Meadowlands farm and open the animal door on the coop day 1, your chickens will disappear. Barone wrote on Twitter, if you leave the door closed for 1 day, it should save them. We will fix this. Lore, there is a wild coyote on the farm day 1 right now.
I think this is fantastic. I haven't seen another company do this.
Yeah, it's innocuous. Day 1, not a big deal, right? They'll fix it. And some more chickens will appear because there's always free range chickens wherever you live. Even in the big city, you'll find some chicken walking around New York, Manhattan.
Yeah, maybe. At least an owl wandering around Manhattan.
Adoptable coyote update leak? ? Says Kai. Who knows? It says, but then they end the entire article with, yeah, we're never getting Haunted Chocolatier, which is their upcoming game. I'm looking forward to that too. I don't know. I keep looking for...
Do you think the coyotes will show up over there?
Haunted coyotes, ghost coyotes, sure. That would actually be a really great story pivot over to the new game. Guess we'll see. Looking forward to, I'm going to load up Stardew Valley. Every time I get reminded of Stardew Valley, I start playing it for a little bit and then I kind of wander off. I don't know. There's something wrong with me. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in the mobile channel on ohmtown.com. Ozempic maker Novo Nordisk is working on a once monthly weight loss drug. The maker of blockbuster weight loss and diabetes drugs Wegovy and Ozempic have entered an agreement with Denmark-based Ascendis Pharma, or ASND. That's their ticker, I suppose. NVO is the Novo Nordisk ticker, to leverage the latter's advanced drug delivery technology.
Well, this sounds like it would be good. It's easier on people taking it, assuming that the supply chain is cooperative.
Yeah, and as long as... I mean, the cost of a pill like this, like if it's a $1,500 injectable for a month now, removing all of that heavy lifting to make it a pill should lower it dramatically. But supply and demand, it knows no bounds when people go, and people don't have any bargaining power. So they have to go, well, it's either my health and I take this drug, or I suffer. All? Yeah, that's all. Bruce Gill over at Quartz, or QZ.com, put the article together. I love the idea of this. I really do, because then it's shelf stable and anybody can take it anytime. Once a month, I mean, you almost forget that you have to take it.
Well, that's actually kind of the downside of it. Plus, if there are supply issues, missing an entire month of it could be a problem.
Yeah, and you have to kind of reset. It doesn't stay in your system in perpetuity. It doesn't wait for you to get the next dose. You know, and then you fall out of that sequence. You have to catch back up. So GLP-1 treatments are a class of diabetes and obesity medications that mimic a hormone that regulates blood sugar and suppresses appetite. Demand for these medications has transformed Novo Nordisk and its rival Eli Lilly, the producer of competing drugs Mounjaro and Zepbound, into the largest pharma companies in the world. It's amazing what happens when you make something that can actually solve
That
health-related
everybody
issues.
wants.
Yeah. You know, I mean, if I did this in my basement, I'm sure that, oh no, who am I kidding? I'd be regulated out of
Mad
existence.
scientist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the person that came up with that little blue pill, like injected themselves or something like that, if I remember right. Yeah. My understanding is that he injected himself in his neck and he had a stiff neck all week.
Bump.
Ascendis could receive up to $285 million in total payments for the leading drug program covering upfront fees, development, and regulatory milestones. See, there we go. Regulatory capture. The company will be eligible for sales-based milestone payments and royalties on global net sales. For each additional product candidate targeting metabolic or cardiovascular diseases, Ascendis could earn up to $77.5 million. So there's the motivation to get it done on the very first try.
Well, absolutely. Money, money, money.
Oh, wait, this one is only 20% effective? We have another one. It's coming in a couple of years. And so it's another $77.5 million? Oh, okay. Oh, that one's only 35% effective? Well, we have another one. It's going to take another year and a half. Yeah. Am I really that cynical? I don't know. Ascendis will handle the initial development of TransCon-based product candidates, with Novo Nordisk covering these early development costs. Novo Nordisk will also take a charge of clinical development, regulatory approvals, large-scale manufacturing, and commercialization. So Ascendis will ascend financially, but really won't be doing... What is this video?
I don't know, but I think they're smiling about all the revenue.
Yeah, really. Money, 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 money. Moving on. This next article is over on 4 Wheel Tech. Suzuki's first electric car looks like Moo Deng. And that's not a slight, apparently. You know.
No, that's an adorable hippo.
Yeah. Apparently, when you first read that, what the hell? Did you just call my car Moo Deng? You better check yourself. A huge milestone in Suzuki's 115-year history just occurred. The Japanese automaker revealed its first electric production car, called the e-Vitara, stylized as e-Vitara, lowercase e. But that looks annoying. It's a small crossover that's being built in India and sold there, as well as in Japan and Europe. So it's based on a EVX concept vehicle. And look at that. Daniel Golson says that car looks like Moo Deng.
I'm not sure about that.
It's cute. And if you smack it on its rear end, it makes that kind of wet sound.
I have no idea where to go with that.
I love just jamming up the AI. Some random thought. So the new Suzuki e-Vitara reminds me of a certain viral pygmy hippo. That's the deck statement from Daniel Golson. I think it looks cool. It is all electric, though. My only problem with this is unless it has, who is it? Yamaha? Or is it not Yamaha? Who is the Toyota? Toyota has the hydrogen fuel cell cylinders.
Right, the plug-in one.
Yeah. Well, no.
It's not plug-in. It's a capsule that looks like it plugs into the car, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things that you just kind of screw in a little cylinder and it has a plunger on the back end and it injects the hydrogen and it stays in the car, and it's kind of like a propane tank, but it's filled with hydrogen. But that's what everybody should be getting. You know, it's locked from the inside. You can't just push a pressure plate and it opens up because you have to blah, 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 whatever. Secure the damn thing. And it's more secure than a fuel tank. Gives you longer miles. You know, I just read about a car. Oh, what is it called? The Mirai?
Oh, I thought it was Lucid.
No. It's called the Mirai. Who makes the Mirai? I can't remember now. It has 700 miles. That's its range.
I thought that was the Lucid.
Maybe it is Lucid Mirai, actually. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm too distracted. So, yeah, it's going to be sold in India and Japan and Europe. I don't know where in Europe it's going to get sold. It says more than being just cute, it looks like Moo Deng. There's Moo Deng.
I do see the ears, like the little side mirrors do kind of look like the hippo ears.
Okay, I guess. I mean, the tires are on the very far corners too. So, yeah, all right. And it has a snoot. So there, the hippo has a snoot. You know, its whole front end, the front clip. Man, the thing looks like it's just made out of putty. Wet putty.
The hippo doesn't even look real in that photo.
I know, right? It looks computer gen. Have we ever actually seen? We're going to have to go and just take a look. We're going to have to go and see Moo Deng.
In Thailand.
In Thailand. Sure. Yeah. I mean, your seat's really inexpensive. I can just slide you into my pocket right here. You're like, hey, how you doing?
Well, that'll be good because then I don't have to share a seat with anybody.
That's right. And some of the stuff that I've been seeing about travel, oof. So the article goes into greater detail about all the stuff that is in this. The Vitara is built on a new Heart Tech E platform developed just for EVs, and it's an all-wheel drive system called All Grip E. I'm just throwing E at the tail end of stuff.
We like a lot of E's in this.
But it's at the end, so it's new. You couldn't have said E Heart Tech or E All Grip. That's so 2000.
But we did do E Vitara.
It's got to be Vitara E, right? Hold on. There's got to be, at some point, it was built off of something else, and it has to have the E at the end. Where was that? Stylized. Oh, it's EVX. See? Duh. All right. Yeah, I guess so. Looks pretty inside. I kind of dig it. It isn't like a Suzuki Sidekick or anything. That's old school.
It looks like there's a lot of visibility out of the front.
Yeah. It still has that little center console, though, for ease of access and to controls and stuff, but it doesn't have a drive shaft like a ICE vehicle would. But it looks roomy. This looks expansive. This has to be an edit or something. There's no way that is that open.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, there's that thing right here. Somebody's been messing around with Photoshop because you can see that right there is where that.
Or they're taking the photo like from down on the floor, so it changes the perspective.
Yeah, there's something weird about that. Can you do that? Look, you can actually put your hand. Maybe the car is really small because look, the e-Vitara.
Is it like a Matchbox?
The e-Vitara even has, there's the little side mirrors, and I guess you sit right here. I don't know. It looks uncomfortable. It is adorable, though. It has 142 horsepower, can upgrade to a 61 kilowatt hour that outputs 172 horsepower and the same 139 pound-feet of torque going for the all-wheel drive. Adds a 64 horsepower motor to the rear for a total of 181 and 221 foot-pounds of torque. It's the lightest front-wheel drive form. The e-Vitara weighs in at 3,700 pounds, while the all-wheel drive model gets chonky at a whopping 4,200 pounds. Wow, thick. Not really. So what is its range? It doesn't say. 49 kilowatt hour battery pack, which means that it can go downhill 40 miles.
But not in the rain.
But not in the rain. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't anything else about range. There isn't anything about range. All right. Let's keep moving. Moo Deng. That's what they should call the car then. Just lean into it.
That would have been really good. Plus, then they could
Suzuki.
have donated something from sales to the conservation program.
Yep, the Suzuki Moo Deng. Let's move on. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. Oh, buoy. A new generation satellite mission to study color of the ocean from space. It's Curtin's University that's joined up with forces of NASA and University of Miami and San Jose State University and the National Institute of Standards and Technology, aka the Fighting Mists, on a new generation satellite mission to study the color of the ocean from space, providing vital information about ocean health and its role in climate regulation.
Does this relate to a previous study about the color of the ocean, which we have actually featured over on TikTok?
Let's see. Lucian Wilkinson from Curtin University put this article together. Oh, that was weird. When the fog of war went over this, I swear that those moved. The solar panels.
Solar panels.
That was weird. That was really weird. Anyway, the article is over at phys.org. And it says here that researchers recently deployed a 15-meter tall buoy off the coast of Perth, Western Australia, as part of a new project to ensure the data quality of NASA's newly launched PACE, Plankton, Aerosols, Clouds, Ocean Ecosystem Satellite Mission. I think it is. Professor David Antoine, head of Curtin's Remote Sensing and Satellite Research Group, or RSSRG, the Fighting Remote Sensing and Satellite Research Group. Maybe not. Doesn't really roll off the tongue. And their jerseys.
That'll be the next mascot that appears.
Their jerseys are really like baggy to get all that on there, or really small print. And under that, it says, if you can read this, you're too close. Phytoplankton are tiny plants that, in addition to being a vital food source for all marine life, collectively produce more than half of the world's oxygen and absorb almost as much carbon dioxide, as well as all the trees and plants on Earth. So we got to regulate this. We got to track it. We got to monitor it to see if we are anthropogenic modifications to our atmosphere are impacting the state of our oceans, which, well, they are.
I think so, yeah.
So now we're going to be able to observe from space which color it's going, and then people can go, the ocean's a little green.
Which might look pretty, but that's probably not a good sign.
The ocean's looking... Then you have to do like Dune. Don't let it out. Don't let... Oh. You never let any drop of moisture hit the dirt in Dune. So it says Curtin is proud to be part of the important global initiative and looks forward to advancing our understanding of Earth's oceans and climate as we approach a transition state where we become Dune. The spice must flow.
Well, we're getting toward that with the way we're treating the ocean.
I'm going to learn how to do that. I got really close. I was training to do that throat singing thing. I was getting pretty good at it. And then like I pulled a muscle or something. I don't know. So there we go. This is just the follow-up of the previous thing that we talked about, which was that we are monitoring the Earth's oceans so that we can see if we are impacting it negatively, what the situation is, the seasonal changes, and maybe track where something is originating from and where it ends up. So it'll be quite interesting to see this in research pop up. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Scientists tackle farm nutrient pollution with sustainable, affordable designer biocar pellets. It says, what if farmers could not only prevent excess phosphorus from polluting downstream waterways, but also recycle that nutrient as a slow-release fertilizer, all without spending a lot of money in a first-of-its-kind field study? University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Researchers show it's possible and economical. And this is actually one of two articles that have to do with pollution runoff. This is about the nutrients, but there's another one over in ohmTown that I didn't select for today's show that is talking about pesticides, and that there are 4 main pesticides that are directly showing correlation and causation to colorectal cancers and terminal
Oh, I
cancer.
hadn't seen that one.
Yeah. There's something like 12 that are associated with cancers in general, but 4 are actually related directly to mortality based on the research. Quite fascinating. And the reason why I'm interested in this is not only because of the impact of food safety, but while we are trying to protect the food for consumption, these chemicals are actually leading to long-term harm in society. I like the idea of vertical farming in a controlled environment where there is no runoff. You use what you're supposed to use. You can recycle everything else. You don't have excess material. You can actually scrub it out. You can actually neutralize it. Nutrients themselves can be reused. It's just intriguing, right? But we rely on making things cheap.
Right, or we
because
do
the
these
sun.
mega farms where
Right.
they don't always have the best environmental practices.
Right. And nanoplastics, microplastics, chemical runoff, pesticides that are poisoning people, et cetera. But everybody says, oh, it's worth the risk to keep food safe. I'm never going to have it. But then you run across somebody that goes, well, now I've got all of this money, but I have cancer. And that's a direct quote from somebody that I had a conversation with, that they had to walk around with radioactive pellets in their body because they had cancer. But up until that particular moment, they did not give one shit about anything, let alone cancer, not somebody else's feelings, not whatever. Anyway. So this article, Lauren Quinn over at College of Agriculture, Consumer and Environmental Sciences at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, put the article together for phys.org. That's where it's posted. And they go into this detail about this lime sludge and sawdust and pyrolysis, which is basically just heating stuff up, turning it into biochar, which is the char.
Probably biochar.
Yeah. Which is I guess I could call it biochar, but basically they just heat it up and it gets turned into dissolved wastewater and water with excessive nutrients get dissolved and capture the phosphorus, and then it gets phosphorus-laden designer biochar or biochar, turns into fertilizer again. It becomes the circle of life.
So you get to see Mufasa when that happens.
Yes, actually, you have to sacrifice someone, old Mayan style. Just throw them after you rip out their heart and show it to them. No? Too much? Too soon?
I don't think so.
So phosphorus removal structures have been developed to capture dissolved phosphorus from tile drainage systems, but current phosphorus sorption materials are rather inefficient, or they are industrial waste products that aren't easy to dispose of. This motivated us to develop an eco-friendly and acceptable material to remove phosphorus from tile drainage systems. It's not just phosphorus that's bad, though. It's just the biggest.
No, but I think it's, getting the most attention.
Yep. Shao and their co-authors use sawdust and lime sludge, byproducts from milling and drinking water treatment plants, respectively. They mixed the two ingredients, formed the mixture into pellets, and slow burned them under low oxygen conditions to create a designer biochar with significantly higher phosphorus binding capacity compared to lime sludge or biochar alone. Quite intriguing.
Well, this is cool. So they're picking up the phosphorus and then they're able to reuse it too.
Yeah, except that they have to use energy to create the biochar, which isn't done easily through capturing it like solar, unless they use electrical heaters and not fire, which could actually use the the biochar itself. Kind of interesting. But there's less and less return on your investment. You use some of your material to create some of your material, and it becomes less
Right. Yeah. You're not going to have all of it at the end.
Yeah, carbon neutral as well. So the drainage water flowed through phosphorus removal structures filled with designer biochar pellets of 2 different sizes. The team tested 2 and 3 centimeter biochar pellets during the first year of the experiment, and then replaced them with 1 centimeter pellets for the second. But they don't really talk about the material findings of this, but you'll be able to find the published material over on Chemosphere. There is
I don't
a
think I
journal.
knew about that one.
That's a new one to me too. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in non sequitur news. Apple has a new batch of AI features arriving just in time for the holidays, but one of them is not giving me my results when I ask. No, it's probably going to be, hey, I found a whole bunch of really interesting results. Go find a frickin' computer so that you can get the results.
Now, wait a second. Isn't that a problem with home HomePods and home assistants?
Yeah, smart speakers, but AI is going to the smart speakers, and to the devices. But if I ask a question of a smart speaker, you'd think that it would have the ability to just answer my damn question.
To be smart?
Give me the idealized response, please, AI. That would be really nice. Apple is expected to expand AI, or Apple Intelligence, with the 18.2 update on December 2nd. It'll feature enhanced writing tools, ChatGPT, which you apparently can select from within the OS, and a visual intelligence tool. Genmojis and Image Playground are also expected to be part of the 18.2 update. Pretty cool, right?
It is and it isn't. I mean, what if you get stuck in this feature and you can't get out of it because then it starts controlling the device?
Oh my God. I don't know what to do about that. I have no idea what to say. I think we have to bow down and bend the knee, kiss the ring, and pray that they don't alter the agreement again. Jordan Hart over at businessinsider.com put the article together. Yeah, it'll feature enhanced writing tools, ChatGPT, visual intelligence tool. I don't know. I think it's an interesting riff. Apple Intelligence AI.
Well, I do too, but I do not feel like it's ready.
I don't think it's ready either because people. There was another podcast, another stream that I was watching earlier today where they mentioned AI summaries from ChatGPT being able to speak to lay people at a level better than science communicators. And I said, well, what about the hallucination and the bullshit that they spew? And when they can't actually answer, they still come up with an answer because they don't know how to say, I don't know. Unless there's zero reference that they can riff from. They have no idea how to say, I don't know. So its upcoming launch is expected to be on December 2nd, just in time for the holiday season. It says, according to Bloomberg. So the article actually stems from a Bloomberg article. Apple said it'll include updates to the writing tools, etc. Like I said earlier, you can get a iPad mini now with an A17 Pro CPU that has Apple Intelligence on board. I think it's the only one that has Apple Intelligence that is not an M chip. Everything else has to be an M chip. Not sure why the A17 Pros make it, but I was hoping that they'd put an M2 or something like that in the iPad mini. Really like the idea of an iPad mini. Now it can use the Pro stylus, not the Apple Pencil Pro.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yep. But because it's not an M chip, I don't want to buy it this year and then wait next year and there's the M chip. Anyway, love the idea of all of this. So I'm hoping that it's going to get smarter and more capable, but we shall see.
I mean, I think the bar is kind of low for some of these things, so maybe it'll surprise us.
Yeah, like answering. And when I tell it to turn off the lights, it doesn't just turn off the entire compound.
Or just say, uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, it's the same kind of response that I got from my first girlfriend. I love you. Uh-huh. Oh, man. Talk about
Ouch.
drawing, baggage all the way back from my youth. Siri is just like my. Anyway, next article's over in Late Night Geeks. Built in 4 days, this $120 robot arm cleans a spill with help from GPT 4.0. Now you can't even. It's 4.0.
You can't even use a
the
mop
4.
or a broom without
No.
having to have AI involved.
No, it's 4.0, the little letter O, not 0. So large language models have already proven transformative for robotics. Yep, they're pretty much on the way to eliminating humans entirely. While researchers and companies alike utilize the platforms to supercharge robotic learning, a pair of roboticists at UC Berkeley and ETH Zurich challenged themselves by leveraging generative AI to put a cheap robot arm to work. So now they're even taking my dream job. You want to know what my dream job is? Let me tell you what my dream job is. I love the idea of being a dishwasher, but unless I'm making $250,000 as a dishwasher, I guess I'm not going back to being a dishwasher.
That might be tough to find with that pay scale.
Yeah. Frankly, I'd do it for $125,000. Yeah,
Watch
you know
out,
what?
that job offer might be out there.
Come to think of it, I'd do it for $75,000. You know what?
You're not supposed to negotiate against yourself.
Oh, crap. I'm doing this wrong. That's why I got out of business. So the article is over at techcrunch.com. Brian Heater put the article together. And apparently, so it says $250 for robot arms, 4 days to build, GPT-4o powered cleaning robot, and it's open source to truly democratize the field of robotics. They have a little link here, but I'm not going to click it because it's going to take me over to the website formerly known as Twitter, and I don't pay it no mind. I can't abide. Plus, I think it's pretty toxic over there. Anyway, Janik Grothesen and Kaspar Jansen trained a pair of $120 robot arms to clean up a spill using GPT-4o. The robots were programmed in just 4 days, probably by GPT-4o or
I
Claude.
thought you were saying chat is like the first name.
Chat. Yes, Chat GPT. 4o is actually like the surname. What is the, like, junior? What is that? What's that called?
Right, I can't think of what that's called.
Oh, God, it's not the surname, right? Surname is the second last name, right? Yeah. Anyway, I totally forgot. So the robots were programmed in 4 days, designing a visual language robot model for human-robot interaction. The motions were trained using only 100 demos.
It's a suffix.
Oh, is it truly a suffix? Really? That's kind of boring, Anyway, so yeah, that's the suffix for there's chat, then there's GPT, that's the last name, and then the suffix is 4o. Is that how we're going to that's all of their names. All of the AIs are going to be called Chat, GPT, and then the generation name.
Yeah, well, that actually makes sense.
And then you have to ask them, what do you want to be known as? What's your nickname?
Right, and they can't all be chat.
Right. So one's going to be Fred. One's going to be Joe. Just call me. My given name is Chat GPT 4o, but you can call me Jack. All right. Yeah, they're going to sit there and say, I'm not cleaning, Jack.
Yeah, we got to watch out for that. Be careful how they're programmed.
So these look like they are 3D printed robot arms that have a little pincer, and they just grab onto that sponge and then clean up that little mess. And I suspect that the camera's vision is the one from the laptop, because that's what it is pointed down at. So if they put the vision on the arm, it would probably be able to eliminate having to have the laptop. It's pretty cool.
Right, it's a little less portable with the laptop sitting there.
So if you do this, then you could have a dealer bot, get rid of the dealers at the casinos, and it would just spit, throw.
That's right.
They're taking your jobs. Everybody, everywhere, your jobs are in jeopardy. Yep. So in not this election, but the next election, vote for the human, because there's going to be somebody with a running mate that's an AI.
Well, we already saw a local election in ohmTown. Not in ohmTown, but an article in ohmTown about somebody that was running for like mayor or something.
Yeah. And they were going to rely on the decision making of the bot. Welcome to the technocracy. It won't be televised because they're going to eliminate all. Anyway, hey, that flight that you were on and the mysterious banging that you heard forces a Boeing 777 to return to the airport. Don't worry about it. It's just a Boeing. It's a feature, not a flaw. So when an airline flight returns to its departure airport, it's typically for a mechanical issue. An American Airlines flight from Buenos Aires must have been before the asteroid hit it. Never mind. Sci-fi movie fans will know what I'm talking about. To New York, diverted back to the Argentine capital after passengers heard a mysterious banging noise coming from the cargo hold.
Do you think the pets in the cargo hold were getting rambunctious?
Let me out. Let me out. So passengers were told that someone was trapped in the cargo hold, but no one was found inside. Ryan Eric King.
What? I'm thinking mechanical issue.
Yeah, that went sideways, huh? So it's over at jalopnik.com. Ryan Eric King put the article together. Yeah, that was the deck statement, by the way. However, police couldn't find a single soul beneath the passenger cabin after the Boeing 777 touched down. The haunted flight. And okay, this must not be during the banging, because they're saying that there was a person inside the cargo hold. So banging began roughly an hour into the flight, about 400 miles northwest of Buenos Aires, according to View from the Wing. The passengers were told that someone, possibly a baggage handler, was trapped in the cargo hold. Maybe they were holding onto the door, banging on the side.
Well, that's true.
Holy cow. With a chance of a stowaway, the plane was met by tactical police units. American Airlines released a statement reading, on Halloween, American Airlines Flight 954, with service from Buenos Aires to New York, returned to Easy-E. Easy-E. Yeah, you know me. I'm flying from Buenos Aires, holding on to some cargo, yo. Anyway, safety is our top priority, and we thank our crew members for their professionalism to try and muffle the screaming. Anyway, usually it's a bad idea. Oxygen deprived, very cold. In 2022, someone was lucky to survive an 11-hour flight on a cargo Lux plane from South Africa to the Netherlands. So yeah, start banging away if you ever get trapped in a cargo hold.
But wait a second, they don't know what happened here?
No. Shh. Don't ask. Moving on. Just like Boeing and American Airlines. Shh.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to hear here.
Hey, look, it's Elvis. Supposedly still alive in Buenos Aires. Go ahead, look it up. So, freakish rat.
Cargo hold.
Yeah. Oh, let me out of this cargo hold. I was looking for my blue suede shoes. So anyway, the next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Freakish rat-sized spiders are breeding faster than ever in the UK. Just a little warning here, folks. There's going to be a big spider on the screen. So arachnophobists, here, Let me do this.
Run and scream.
So those in the United Kingdom are living in a time when the fen raft spiders are populating in record numbers. Recent conservation efforts have aided in their rapid reproduction as the species was near extinction a decade and a half ago. And I guess somebody opened the door to Pandora's box.
Fen raft spiders. Metal, and then what could go wrong?
That's right. Gain of function. These things are going to fly. Just get a little bit closer to whatchamacallit. What was that? What's the name of virology place? Was the
Wuhan?
Wuhan. These are going to be called the Wuhan fen raft spiders pretty soon because they're going to be flying around. Who knows? Anyway, we're talking creepy crawlies the size of rats. This breed is among the largest in the country and can be larger than the palm of your hand, but that's pretty subjective. Is it this size palm or this size palm? There's a big difference. Palm sizes. Just saying. This size palm. This size palm. It's a little spider. Big spider. Anyway, I need to get an ultra wide display. I don't like my arm being cut off. Anyway, freakishly rat-sized spiders are breeding faster than ever in the UK. Kyle Philippi over at Vice.com put the article together. So the goal was exactly this, to send these arachnids back into the wild with the hopes of restoring the population. And at the same time, the zoo focused on breeding the spiders they retained. It recently revealed that there was 10,000 females from this current mating season. Dear God.
You know, maybe when they hit like 1,000, they could have scaled back on the efforts or something.
10 years ago, we helped release thousands of giant spiders back into the UK. The fen raft spiders were bred right here at the zoo, and we're super happy to scare the ever-loving bejeebers out of everyone in the UK from now on. So go out there, folks. I hear that they're minty, so lick them. Don't lick them. Anyway, all of this is great news.
This would be terrifying, and it's not even Australia.
Yeah, really. Are they? They're non-venomous. So the spiders are non-venomous. So many people would be freaked out if they ever encountered one in the wild at the end of the day, but you're not going to get hurt. Fen raft spiders, which are the largest of 660 native species in the UK, can create webs that are up to 25 centimeters in size.
But they can also run across the water. I'm assuming people who are in the water think, oh, that spider can't come over here. Surprise!
Yeah, they say that about cheetahs, too. You piss off a cheetah and it'll sprint across that pond. They have hairy legs, too, just like that. Yeah, they have little hairy feet so that they can run across the water if they run fast enough. Ooh, a trait that aids in catching prey, such as tadpoles, small fish, and children. That last part is not true. Moving on. Last article is what I call my first chemical purity tester. It doubles as the my first purity tester in general, I suppose. It depends on whatever sample you put in there. Whatever chemical. A little bit of blood, it can purify or test the purity of your soul. So
I think this is science, not
wizardry, woo-woo. Yeah. So student builds chemical purity tester using Lego bricks, using simple circuitry, polarizing film, and Lego toy bricks. An undergraduate physics student from the Ateneo de Manila University. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly, but it is what it is. Built an improvised polarimeter that can optically assess the purity of vitamin C or ascorbic acid and other chiral substances. So Ateneo de Manila University put the article together. It's posted at phys.org. Look at that. My first chemical purity tester.
That belongs in a Star Wars set or something based on the color scheme.
I struck up a marketing campaign for a product called My First Meth Lab. That didn't go well with the company that I was consulting at, but the CEO got a chuckle out of it. So polarimeters are invaluable laboratory instruments that can help infer the purity of a chemical by measuring the angle of rotation of polarized light that passes through the test sample. So if you got a lot of stuff that's degrading the purity of it, then it's not going to be detected. However, laboratory-grade polarimeters are prohibitively or polarimeterively, I had to merge that all together, expensive, with a high-end model costing over $11,500 and a commercial manual polarimeter priced at over $1,200. This makes their acquisition and use difficult, if not impossible, for small laboratories and classrooms in developing countries like the Philippines. I wonder if I need to look into what it takes to find out the IBUs of isomerized hops.
Wonder if you could use this Lego tester.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to take a look into it. So the Filipino researchers, really? That's how they, I guess. How about just the researchers modified the original design and refined the detection process to obtain reliable and accurate measurements that are crucial for ascorbic acid, whose specific rotation is relatively low.
By the way, they were differentiating from the work of the Norwegian researchers.
Gotcha. So their work improved on an earlier Lego-based polarimeter built by Norwegian researchers Lise Kvitingen and Berthe Johan Sojourns. I gave it my Harvard try, but I never went to Harvard, so this is what you get. So to test the device, they used 2 over-the-counter samples of vitamin C, ascorbic acid, from 2 different pharmaceutical brands and compared the test results with known theoretical values for pure ascorbic acid. While one of the samples produced values within the acceptable range, the other sample showed significant deviations from the expected values, suggesting possible impurities affecting its optical properties. The comprehensive approach, combining polarimetry and melting point determination, proved to be a cost-effective version compared to the other devices typically used for purity assessment, which are often more expensive. Like, there's a gas chromatography that can show you if a sample has anything else in it, but not the values. But you can use, there is another microscopy version.
Mass spectrometry?
No. There's another one.
The other one.
It's kind of like mass spec, but
it's GC.
Well, that's gas chromatograph. So, and they're usually tied together, but there's I forgot the name of it. Oh, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. And this is how we're going to end the show, with me being all tied up in a knot trying to figure out. I think it starts with an R. It's a type of
Is it liquid chromatography or?
Doggone it. No. Hold on. Well, I'm typing on the wrong computer. It's all the rage right now. I'm trying to figure out what it is, but I'm doing it live, folks. I'm sorry, I won't be able to. It's going to take too long. This is not how I wanted to end the show. It's named after a person. Hold on. Oh, I keep typing on the wrong computer. And no, it's not Jansen or Huygens. I don't know. I
can't find it.
Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, because I went looking for the device, and the cheapest I could find that would fit the bill was $25,000. Yeah.
Right, a bit out of range.
Yeah, ohmTown doesn't get that kind of grant money. Or why do I still have that showing? Thought I turned that off. Oh, I hit a
No, it's up
button.
for the whole article.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button and I left it on because Merawat is falling apart at the seams. I wore the wrong shirt.
I mean, that makes all the difference.
Yep. So we are going to use a polarimeter to check the optical activity, and that's going to lead us back to the front page of ohmtown.com, where you can go to get all of the news aggregated for your areas of interest. We actually have 50 channels that are the locations for aggregated news from around the world. And we're adding sources as time goes on to facilitate my information overload and the AI's ability to consume as much information as necessary to protect ohmTown, which is kind of neat, right? And so you were about to say something?
No, I was just getting prepared.
Oh, okay. So we're going to bow out and we'll see you tomorrow. I might do the time machine for one of the shows earlier in the day, like at around 4:30, but it really depends on if I'm available. But we always have a daily show, the non-sequitur news show, which is what you're watching right now or listening to as a podcast later. And that's it. So I'm Merwat. I'm saying bye, and the sentient AI from the future is going to say that too.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us, ohmTown citizens. Be back tomorrow for another episode of Non Sequitur News, and be sure to check out the podcast and the replay and all kinds of other things.
Be sure to like and subscribe and follow us and ring the bell and send a carrier pigeon. And if you want to send us an article or a new news source, you can send an email to mayor@ohmtown.com. I get those periodically. And you can also post over in the Discord for whichever channel you are interested in adding a source to. We'll evaluate it and include it. So we have our own little checks and balances. At any rate, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to work. 1 second. Bye-bye.